Okay, so Mr. Johnson here, we are going through the acid-base lab. This is orange juice, and we'll put a little bit here on the pH paper. Doesn't do too much to it, but we can see on the other litmus papers that we're getting the red color of acid, but it's a very weak acid, maybe like 5 or 6 pH. Okay, and it contains citric acid. Is what's in that one, and then over here is muriatic acid. If you look on the label, it says hydrochloric. So that is hydrochloric acid. We put some of that here on. We get a very deep red on the pH paper, and so that's a strong acid, maybe 1, 2 strong acid, and we're getting the red on the litmus. Okay, next is the battery acid, the sulfuric acid. Okay, we'll put a drop of that on the pH paper, and again very deep red. That is a strong acid, 1 or 2 again. Okay, and then now we'll go over here to the lye. Lye, if you look on the label, it says sodium hydroxide, and we'll put a drop of that on here. And now we're getting very deep blue, almost purple. This would be a strong base. We could say probably 12, 13, 14 for that one. Okay, and then over here we have ammonia, which is chemical name ammonium hydroxide. We put a drop of that on here, and we're getting kind of a green color there. This one's going to be fairly strong base again. Okay, we turn the litmus blue. Next is alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. If you look up the formula in your book, you can see it's C3H7OH, and it seems to have no effect on the litmus, and the pH paper stays the same, so we're going to call that one a neutral. Okay, we'll go back here to the Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola, if you look on the label over here, you can see that it has phosphoric acid in there, so as expected we are getting blue turning red on the litmus, and then we want to go with the pH paper. In the pH paper we're getting a weak acid test on there, so we could probably rate that one like a pH of 5 or 6, and by the way, the pH of the alcohol was like 7 since it was neutral. Now here we have some soap, it's Joy, and if you look at the litmus you can see that the red litmus is turning slightly blue, so we know this is basic, and we're getting a very faint yellow-green on there. It means it's a very weak base, so it's probably going to be like a number of about 8 or so. Okay, we go over to the baking soda, and the baking soda has, which is a sodium bicarbonate, has turned blue, our litmus, and then on the pH paper we're getting the green. So that is still a weak base, but it's a little bit, maybe a little bit stronger than the Joy was. So we could call that one like maybe a 9, 8, 9. Okay, and here's distilled water, and it's really not doing anything here to the litmus. Whoops, I got to get on my paper here. There we go. And it doesn't do anything to the pH paper. We're going to call that a pH of 7, neutral, for the distilled water. And then the milk magnesia. It has a chemical magnesium hydroxide in it. And we'll try the pH paper here. And we are getting kind of a greenish color, so we're going to call that a weak base. Probably about pH of 8 or 9 also for that. Generally speaking, the bases that we use, that we eat, take internally, they have to be pretty weak. Okay, and this is vinegar. Vinegar is a solution of acetic acid, and acetic acid We can see that the blue litmus has turned red, and let's take a look at the pH paper. The pH paper, we are getting kind of an orangey color. Not near as red as the strong acids. We're going to call this one a weak acid, although it's kind of borderline, isn't it? Call that one a weak acid. Okay, this is Mr. Johnson with the Acid and Base Lab. Over and out.